Thank you for joining Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We've got a new guest for you every week, somebody in the community that we think you should know about or some organization that you should know about. And today we're going to talk about the Lamb House, right, with Pastor Terry Gentry, who was kind enough to come over and join us today. Pastor, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited about this.
So this Lamb House, it seems like a lot of people in the area know about the Lamb House, but they don't know much about it. So we figured we needed to find out. So tell us about the Lamb House and what you guys do.
Well, we basically help people out as Lake Area's ministry. It's a ministry that we have to help people out that in the community. We help people with groceries, medical bills sometimes, just various needs for the community. It always surprises me how many needs are in our community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've had lines of people there to pick up groceries and things like that.
Huh.
And then we also have clothing and items inside the store. And so I always enjoy being on the counter because I enjoy talking to people that come in and find out what they do and where they live and so on like that.
Right.
But it's kind of exciting to watch it because you can get some really nice clothes. We work on it hard to make sure it's nice clothes, not just junk that's thrown in there. So.
Absolutely. And okay, so where is the Lamb House?
Okay, it is next the road next to the Methodist Church
In Camdenton?
In Camdenton, sorry, and it's about a block off of 54 on the south side. It's when you drive back here, it's a big, large metal building, got an asphalt parking lot there. And there's usually a lot of cars around there too.
Interesting,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
So the Lamb House, we're talking about Pastor Terry Gentry here. So last year you guys helped out with food and utilities. I'm told it added up to about $250,000.
It did.
$242,000. That's a whole lot of helping out.
That's a lot of helping out. That's a lot of donations too.
Yeah. So you guys work off of donations.
Donations and grants. Gary is always busy searching all the grants he can get to help us out. That we buy, for example, the food bank. We can buy food from the food bank. And $25 will buy about 100 meals or $250 worth of food that we order and get sent in, and then we give it away to people that come. So
right.
And it amazes me because, Chris, people come and stop by the store and drop off a check, just a donation to help us out and to help just the people in this community. They help each other out, and so they come by and drop off checks for $1,000 and that kind of stuff. It's just amazing what all they do.
It really is. We were kind of talking a little bit about how special this community is in that way, where you got things like the shootout, which is completely charity oriented, you know, and then you've got your organization where last year you give away $242,000 because you wouldn't be able to do that if people didn't come in and give and help you out.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So there's a lot of great people. So how do you raise $242,000 to just give away like that?
You know, a lot of us through the store, a lot of us just through the grants. As I said earlier, Gary is busy working on grants all the time, and it amazes me how many grants are out there for us to use. The Rotarians really made a difference. They
Really?
helped us out, yes. And some of those also, like I said, people just literally stop by, but we shop around, we try to get. And then people drop off donations of clothing and things like that.
Right.
And we have volunteers that come in and go through them and hang up really nice stuff, and then we sell them for.
So you mentioned
$1
Gary a
too.
couple of times. Who is Gary?
Gary Mitchell, he's our director, and he's just amazing in all the work he's done, and we're really proud of the work that he's done there.
So now, was he the one that started this whole thing, or?
No, actually, Gary come on board a while back. It was started like in 1980, I believe it was, and I think the story is, and I've just been president of the board for a couple of years, but Gary has been on for several years. It started in the 80s and then moved into, and in 17, I believe it was, they got this building, and we've been enlarging this building, and actually this building has been getting so full of stuff. We're having trouble storing stuff, so
Wow.
we may have to have another building. But
And it's a big
amazing.
building, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It amazes me how much stuff comes in, and what we can't use, we donate to other places like Habitat, for example.
Right.
And there's a lot of things that come in that we really don't fit in the store, and so we see those, they go somewhere else. We also help other organizations. If a church calls us and said, we're having a cookout, could we get some help with hot dogs or chips or whatever, you know? If we have it, we give it to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anybody any organization like that, we're open to all the churches, and then there's a lot of organizations that we just pass things on to that need it.
Yeah, you're kind of like a hub that kind of gives to a little bit of everybody around.
About
the
anybody
community.
that asks.
Yeah.
But we also do a lot of collecting too. People
Yeah.
send us a lot of stuff. So.
Absolutely. It's coming in, going out, same time. All right. So we're talking with Pastor Terry Gentry from Lamb House in Camdenton, getting to know more about this amazing organization, and we'll find out more when we come back on the Spotlight Show.
Your time on the water is limited, and Hy-Vee and Osage Beach knows it. Let us do the shopping so you can maximize your lake time. With our Isles online app, you can have your groceries delivered or ready for contactless pickup when you arrive to the lake. With all your grilling favorites, snacks, fresh produce, and home to the lake's largest wine, spirits, and beer department, your weekend at the lake starts with Hy-Vee and Osage Beach, where you'll find a helpful smile in every aisle.
It's our most protective wash yet. Introducing the QuickCar Ceramic Wash. It's an industrial-grade polymer solution with ceramic nanotechnology, resulting in high-end, advanced scientific protection of your vehicle's finish. The QuickCar Ceramic Wash. Try it on its own or with the monthly Unlimited Wash Club today. QuickCar. Quick, easy, and professional every time. In Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We're talking about the Lamb House in Camdenton with Pastor Terry Gentry, president of the board.
Yes.
And then we've been talking about Gary Mitchell, who is the director of Lamb House. And you guys do a whole lot of work in the community, taking stuff in and then distributing, charity stuff.
Yes.
To churches, to people, everything else there. Okay. So you were telling me when we were getting ready for this show about the buying power of $1 donated. What is the buying power of $1?
Let's say it this way: if somebody brought in $25 and give it to us as a donation, we could buy $250 worth of food with that.
Wow.
And so that is true. We can feed 100 people easy enough for that. And so actually, the best thing, now people bring canned goods to us and things like that, and we always welcome that, of course. But also, a cash donation like that can go so much farther than what they can buy in the store and bring to us. And so,
That's amazing.
yeah,
Wow.
it's through the food bank, of course, but it's good. We get trailer truck load a weekend of food and give it away. So.
Wow, that's a whole lot. So you also support other missions, Medical Mission for Christ,
Yes.
Victory Mission,
Yes.
Volunteers International, Raising Hope Free Store, Habitat, churches. So you are really, really helping a whole lot of people.
Yes, we make sure everything that comes in gets used somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
It doesn't die on the vine. It's
No,
going
it doesn't.
somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, good to know. So what is Sue's Shoes?
Sue's Shoes is amazing. If you have a child at school that doesn't have the proper shoes,
Yeah.
if they apply for it through the school nurse, we have an organization in our Lamb House that will buy them a brand new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
All they do is need to make an application for it. I've never known of one to be turned down, but it may have happened. But then everything I've heard of have been kids just so happy that to have a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, just getting kids shoes,
Yes.
basically, right?
Yes.
Wow.
It amazes me how many people, I'm amazed at how many older people need help sometime too, but also how many young people in our community that need help. And
Well, and you know, if you remember way back in the old days going to school, kids can be pretty brutal to kids,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So it's really cool that you helped that out. So Sue's Shoes is
Sue's Shoes,
another
yes,
program
another
there. So last year you gave away a lot. We talked about it was about $250,000. And you expect to double that this year?
As of last month, we were already 1,000 number of people over what we did the same month last year
Wow.
during the COVID.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And what,
It's
why?
just amazing. People have needs and they keep coming, and we have enough to give. You know, just amazing how people support and help out. And I think that's one of the most amazing things. What I like most about it is the way that people have a desire to help other people out in this community. And
Yeah.
you don't find that in every community. So.
Yeah, boy, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's this area again. One of the special parts is that we still have that grassroots feel. People know people and want to help people and look people in the eye, you know, to go and do it. So a lot of your clients are women who are fleeing domestic abuse.
There's
too.
some, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, we talked about the kids, helping kids with shoes, which is a huge deal when, you know, they're going to school or just, you know, getting through winter. Domestic abuse is unfortunately a major problem everywhere, but certainly here. So, and you're there to help a lot of the women out.
We are.
Yeah.
And coats for kids. We have we try to keep those separate. And if somebody needs a coat and they can't afford one, we'll make sure they get one way or another. So.
Coats for kids.
Yes.
Okay. So, and how do you go about getting the clothing and the coats and stuff like that? How does that come about?
Most of it comes in by donations. People sometimes bring in 2 or 3 bags of clothes that
Yeah.
they're just renewing and for their own use. And then we go through those and just really pick out the nice stuff. And what we don't use there, we pass on to the other missions and so on like that. So the clothes that we hang up we try to keep a real nice grade, I guess you'd say, of clothes, because we want people to feel proud when they put them on too. And they're getting a really good deal. And I've never known anybody really getting turned down. If you'd just come in and say, I can't afford anything, but I need this or that, it always happens one way or another. So.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, we could all say, but for the grace of God,
Yes.
there go I. I mean, that very
Absolutely.
easily could be me, you know, or any of us, really. So how do people, if people want to bring clothes in or donate or give food or volunteer to help out, do you need volunteers?
Oh, yes. We never have enough volunteers.
Right. So how do people find you? How
Okay.
would they come to you?
If you could stop by the store, it'd be best, because we could sign you up and get you on a regular schedule. Also, you can go to lambhouse.org and you can see it that way. And Gary monitors that, and he'll get back with you real quick. If you want to make a donation, come in the front door and bring a bag in, or stick your head in the front door and say, hey, come help me get this stuff in here.
Right. And you've got people there that will help unload?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, good.
And then stick your head in the front door and say, I'd like to volunteer. So
Yeah,
that'd be great, too.
absolutely. Okay.
Might get a round of applause that way. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always good, right?
Yeah.
You know. So how many people are there at any given time?
Oh, most of the time you run. There's a group downstairs who pass out the food,
Yeah.
and that could be 6 or 8. You never know. And then
Yeah.
there are 5 to 8 upstairs working and hanging clothes and straightening up things. And so there's there could be 20 people there in the daytime working. But of course we close at 1, so it's winds down after that.
It's a major operation. Okay,
Yeah.
so final seconds. What are your hours? When are you there?
We get there at 9:30 when we open,
Okay.
and try to get out by 1:30, but not always.
Yeah.
And if somebody comes in a little late, then we're just trying not to turn anybody down. We can help at all. So.
Okay, there you go. So go look it up. Get some more information. That's lambhouse.org. Lambhouse.org, doing some fantastic stuff. Pastor Terry, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you for having me. It's
You
great.
bet. Good to see you.